Welcome back to McCarthy Motorsports. We've kind of jumped ahead a bit from the last video, so we have gotten the gearbox back in the car, subframe back in, all the bits and pieces that we had off back on it. Just feeling a bit of a time pinch with the upcoming Vancouver Auto Show, getting the car ready to go in that. Just need to make sure it drives, shifts, all that, and getting alignment done. We did make some suspension changes, which I'll show you in this video. But yeah, as of right now, the gearbox is back in. So some of the changes we've made since Big White, we have gone back to this metal mesh radiator protector, just to help if any branches or rocks, slide off into a bank, just to help prevent puncturing. This is what we were running for Big White, just to help with the engine, keeping the engine at operating temperature. Big White this year was not as cold as we were expecting, as years previous have seen down to minus 20 Celsius. This year it was hovering just below freezing, so probably wasn't needed this year, but didn't do any harm. We hit a snowbank and it stopped a lot of the snow from going in, which potentially could have helped or could have been disastrous, I guess. Also, we have removed the sway bar. So as you'll see in this video, we're making some suspension changes. Nothing fancy, but hopefully we'll see some difference on the stages this year. This week we're tackling the suspension. So after last season, took it back, gave it a once over, found out that both front struts had bent right at the mounting point to the knuckle. Pretty common issue for seems lots of cheaper suspension, and especially these Volkswagens, the design isn't great for rally purposes. So Chuck, our co-driver, has given us his rallycross struts, which he has beefed up. So he's taken a Bilstein B6, and this down here was the point where both of them had failed, right where the knuckle meets. So what he's done is he's taken a steel tube and sleeved it, welded it. So obviously kind of sketchy if it's a regular shock, but because it's a inverted style, he was able to fully disassemble it, get some good welds on this, make sure that this mating surface sits perfectly. So hopefully this brace is enough that it's going to stop it from bending. This actual shock has taken a lot of abuse on the rallycross course and withstood it. The damper itself is definitely an upgrade from the stock Bilsteins that we were running previously. And then for springs, we're again keeping it budget based. We're currently up to now running a lift spring. So aftermarket option, 2-inch lift spring for a Mark IV platform Volkswagen. I like them. They're quite stiff. Car doesn't move around a lot, but problem is they bottom out quite easy, and you can see on the coils here where the springs are binding under compression. So we're bottoming out a lot, and probably has a lot to do with the fact that the strut is bending. Once that spring's fully compressed, this is taking that load. So we're switching back to a factory Volkswagen spring. With that, we're going to have a bit more travel, hopefully, and also the ability to pull a sway bar out. Previously with the lift spring, we had pulled the sway bar out and we were having extreme conditions of that spring binding on itself. So yeah, we're gonna get those assembled up, get them in the car, and we also have some replacement new springs for the rear. So probably will sit about 1.25 1.5 inches lower than it is right now, but hopefully the suspension will have a bit more travel, a bit more resilience. And then, yeah, maybe one day we can step up to the big leagues of Olin's or, you know, one of those big brands. But for now, we'll stick to this Bilstein and stock setup. Alright, so that's the two front struts assembled. Definitely a lot nicer and shinier than those rusted out springs, which looking at them look like one's even collapsed more than the other. So hopefully it makes some bit of difference. We'll see. It's budget based, so probably not going to be a huge benefit, but we'll see after PF4 what the verdict is. We're under the back of the car. Front of the car is all done, all back together, torqued up. We just got to swap out these rear coil springs. We're going to take out the rusty 2-inch lift ones that have been in there for a couple of years now and swap them out for some OEM spec VR6 rear springs. Will sit a little lower just like the front, but again, have the car run level. Not going to make much of a difference back here, I don't think, but so it looks like the solid axle beam bushings we put in are doing a pretty good job. The rear axle is currently not attached to the shocks, and we are still unable to get the springs out. So we're gonna have to do some prying. Okay, so we got the springs out. We lost our light under there, so went a little dark on that last shot. As you can see, these springs have appeared to have developed some sort of a bow to them. But it just shows how much longer they are. Not sure the spring rates on them, but we'll see. Hopefully won't make too much of a difference back here. It handled pretty okay for what it is. Let's get these new ones in. Next item for maintenance on the vehicle is going to be the CV axles. So these are the 2-liter stock VW axles that came in the car from the factory in 2003. They, since I've owned the vehicle, have never been apart, cleaned, serviced, anything. So we have some shiny new factory boots, grease kits, everything we need to take them apart, clean them, inspect them, and rebuild them. These axles are nice. They have a proper ball joint CV outer and inner, compared to the 1.8 turbo shafts and I believe a couple of other models that have the tripod roller style on the inside, which is prone to binding and snapping, causing drive shaft failure. Touch wood, been running the car with these shafts, rallycross and now stage rally for 4 years, 5 years, never had an issue, never broke an axle, not the slightest problem. So We're going to show them some love, recondition them, fresh grease, and yeah, get them ready for this season. So last night I rebuilt the CV joints, new boots on them, greased them all up. Got to the last one. The last one was quite tight. Took it apart. The GoPro died, unfortunately, before I got to this part. So what I found was the actual cages are completely bound up, unable to move them. I was able to get them apart to clean them out and inspect them. Lots of wear on them, lots of heavy pitting inside in the outer cup, and then you can see the ball bearings are a really dark color. They've been overheated. The grease that was in there was more like a tar substance, so I went and grabbed our spare axle shaft this morning from the storage. So this one, you can see the balls much shinier, cleaner, good condition. This cages, nice free moving motion, no binding. And then on the cup, very, very light wear marks, but nowhere near to the extreme of the other one. So we're gonna pack this full of fresh grease, and we will put a new CV boot on it and run this for the year. I'll try to pick up some more OEM shafts, maybe from a wreckers or a junkyard, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to fill the transmission up with some gear oil. We're running a Mobil 1 75-90 weight gear oil, nothing fancy, just affordable and available. So yeah, let's get this in there. Okay, so everything's back on the front end of the car. We're just going to give everything a torquing down. For that, we have our trusty laminated torque sheets. So we have everything for front and rear. Makes it nice and easy in service and working here. Just quick reference, and we know what we got to do. So we're going to start off on this axle nut. Okay, let's get a torque on that. Okay, so that's a unusual torque sequence, but that's the VW way. 200 Newton meter initial, loosen the nut half a turn, torque it to 50 Newton meters, and then a 60 degree. So we we have her paint marks lined up. Okay, now to torque the rest of the vehicle. So our final maintenance job while we have it here in the garage is to change out the ignition coil, wires and spark plugs. At Big White we were getting a flashing check engine light between stages, only on the road sections. When we scanned it, we had a random multiple misfire fault. Didn't feel any misfires, the vehicle didn't seem down on power. So we're just going to go ahead, put a brand new coil, wires and some plugs in it. So again, big thanks to the guys at Vancouver Volkswagen. They hooked us up with some shiny new OEM parts. So we're going to pull out this ignition coil. As long as I've had the car, I believe that's been the ignition coil that's been in it. So probably upwards of 7 years at this point. I'll hold on to it as a spare, but for this season, just for reliability, we're gonna pop some fresh stuff in. And yeah, just maintenance, no performance gain, but hopefully a bit of reliability from it. Okay, I think we're ready for our first startup in a couple of months. At some point I left the kill switch on and totally killed the battery, so we have it charged up and recovered now, so hopefully it's enough to start. And yeah, we'll grab a gear and see if it'll move. Okay, let's see if it'll fire up. I have power. That's a good start. Fuel pump runs. Looks good. It's, clutch engages. We have forward. We have a new rattle from somewhere. I'll figure that out in a bit. Back this out without taking out our garbage cans and pressure washer. Okay, runs, it's idling smooth, power steering's working. Yeah. Time to get an alignment and give it a wash up. Get it ready for the Vancouver International Auto Show. Okay, we got the alignment all done. I didn't want to film in the shop. There were still some people working, so out of respect for their privacy. So yeah, we have some numbers here. Much better looking than last year. Trying to work with a bent strut was not ideal. Not what I thought it was, but anyway, it's resolved. New suspension's in. Took it for a quick rip around. All the gears are working just fine. Seems to pull a little bit better. I don't know, am I making myself believe that? But pull a bit better in third gear anyway. So just came down the side street here from my place just to give it a little bit of a gravel run, shake down the suspension, make sure there's no knocking or banging. So everything seems to be Doing quite all right.